Hi everybody, this is Tracy from Northeast Tarot and welcome to your November 2015 monthly tarot reading. So right now I just want to take a second and thank everybody for all of their likes, their shares, their comments. You guys are truly amazing, and I especially want to thank everybody who has shown their support for my new series here on my channel. As you know, I already offer the general monthly tarot forecast, but now I have recently added the new weekly general forecast. I did ask everybody to give me their feedback when it comes to these new weekly readings, because they do take a lot of work, and I really wanted to know if it was something that you were finding helpful. And honestly, the feedback has just been truly amazing. You guys have really went above and beyond to really reach out to me and let me know that you definitely are finding these new readings helpful. It's something that you really are enjoying, and because of that, I of course will continue on doing these weekly forecasts. So I really wanted to take a second and thank you, for all of your support with the new readings. Now, if you are interested in a private reading, I do have my website linked below this video, so you definitely can click on my website and head over there. I do have a ton of information on my webpage. Right now, what I am offering is our two separate readings. One is a 30-minute reading, and the other is an hour reading. What I do is I normally ask you to give me 3 questions for the 30-minute reading or 6 questions for the hour reading, and then once your reading is finished, I do email you the private link where only you can actually view your reading here on YouTube. And the link never does expire, so you can save your reading to go back and reference for as long as you'd like. You can put it in a playlist or whatever. And it's something that you'll always have. In the future, I do plan on offering live Skype readings. It's just not something that I have right now, but I am working towards that. So I just want to thank everybody and wanted to let you know that I am available for private readings, so definitely head over to my site if you are interested. And I hope you have a great month of November. Hi Aries, this is Tracy from Northeast Tarot and welcome to your November 2015 monthly tarot reading. So this is for Aries Sun, Aries Moon, and Aries Rising signs. So Aries, let's get started. Wow. So Aries, at the bottom of the deck, I do have the King of Wands, which I would say this is definitely you. No matter if you're male or female, Aries, I would say that you're fiery, you're passionate, you're driven this month of November. You're definitely optimistic. You're coming in quite strong with your natural traits and characteristics. You're definitely ready. You're definitely taking charge and going for it. I really like this energy. And looking at the rest of your cards, Aries, I really like this reading. Very, very nice month you're gonna have. Extremely positive. Wow, very, very nice. Okay. All right, so I have a couple characters here and a couple major arcana cards. You actually start out with the Empress, Aries. So I would say, there could be some Aries that are literally having a baby. You could be bringing a baby home. You could have, just found out that you've conceived or you're giving birth. If not, you could be giving birth to some sort of new project, or just have some sort of new creative idea about something, Aries. We can give birth to other things in this life besides children. The Empress is extremely creative. You know, this could be your mother that, you know, maybe visits you in the beginning of November. She could be coming in, or maybe some sort of motherly type figure. You know, what I have crossing the Empress, so this is the card that's either helping or hindering, is actually the Page of Pentacles. So I feel as though some of you might be receiving some sort of news about your mother right in the beginning of November. This is going to be like the first few days, first week of November. So I feel as though, you know, it is the Page of Pentacles, which pages can represent new beginnings. It can represent, pages can represent children. Or, you know, pages can obviously represent news or communication. So I feel as though there could be some Aries that you know, are receiving news or communication maybe from their mother right in the beginning of November. Or, you know, you're receiving news, you know, maybe about some sort of new creative project, or maybe maybe you want to receive news about your mother for some Aries. Or you want to receive news maybe about some sort of new project or home. Very interesting, because what I have at the foundation, Aries, is actually the Page of Wands. So you have two pages here. And this is the foundation. So this is something that has already happened. The Page of Wands is some sort of new beginning, or, you know, if it was a new beginning, it's going to be something that, you know, gets us very excited. It's something that we're passionate about. And if it's not a new beginning, this is some sort of news that you received in the past. So it could be news about your mother that you received in the past, and now you're waiting on more news. You know, that can be the case for some Aries. And then for other Aries, I feel as though this might have to do with, you know, your children, or a birth, or maybe conceiving. Maybe you received news in the past about conceiving, and now, you know, come November, you're actually waiting on more news. What I have in the recent past is the Tower. This is done and gone. This is a Tower situation. This is talking about change. It's big change, where it basically kind of shakes up your entire life. I don't always see the Tower card as something that's devastating. For me, this card just represents a massive change. And sometimes that change can actually be for the better. You know, this is a general reading, so this can really apply to many different Aries, probably many different ways. But, you know, one possibility that I really want to throw out there, and you know, comment and let me know if this is the case. I really feel as though you received some news in the past, maybe about conceiving, or maybe, you know, there was some sort of devastating situation, or just something bad that might have happened in regards to maybe childbirth or conceiving or something like that. And then you received news And then I feel as though, you know, you're waiting on more news though. Pages can be new beginnings as well. So, I mean, there could be some Aries that you know, they're waiting on a new beginning. What I have crowning you, which this is very interesting. So I have the Empress at the center of the reading, and then what's crowning you and what's on your mind is the Emperor, which is your sign as well, Aries. The Emperor represents Aries. So, you know, I really feel strongly this is like a husband and wife or couple. It's really coming through. I obviously that's not going to apply for everybody because this is a general reading, you know, but this could be like a woman who is married. She's thinking about her husband. You know, you know, your children are somehow relevant here, or news is relevant here. You know, the Tower in the recent past can also be like a piece of property. It doesn't have to be a massive change. This also can actually represent some sort of property change within the home, change with a particular property in your life, Aries. The Emperor can be an actual person that's on your mind. It can be your husband. I feel as though for some people watching this, this is going to be your husband. You know, you could be a male Aries watching this, and, you know, your wife, there could be some sort of situations going on, you know, with your wife or even with your mother. Now, what I have coming in the near future is actually the Justice card. So, you know, around the second week of November, if there was some sort of injustice done or something go on here, you know, this justice energy is going to come in. It's going to balance the scales. It's going to make things fair. You know, there's going to be a balancing that you know, occurs here. Justice can also represent contracts. It can also represent, you know, the justice system. So for some of you, this can be, you know, this Tower situation could have been something within maybe the legal system, even with your mother, or even with maybe an ex-wife, or some sort of nurturer that was in your life, or a nurturing partner or something like that, and there's news that you're waiting on, maybe in regards to, you know, this, you know, some sort of case, or you know, or even some sort of news in regards to a contract. Maybe there's some Aries that are actually buying a new home. Because, you know, I have some other really amazing cards here that can indicate that. What I have is your power in the situation. You have the King of Swords, so you're coming in quite determined. This is my warrior king. No matter if you're male or female, this is saying you're extremely focused, you're extremely determined. You know, you can be quite driven as well with the King of Wands here. You can be quite driven, very passionate, and then now take on the extremely logical, intuitive, intelligent, determined, focused, ready to, you know, persevere. The Emperor over here as well can be a person, you know, this represents success and you know, being in control, stability. Now what I have external to you, and this is also how some people see you, is the Magician. So I would say some people see you as, you know, being able to really pull the strings, if you would, and really make things manifest in your life. you know, anything that your heart really desires, because the Magician really holds all of the tools and all of the skills at hand to really make things manifest within his life. So, you know, because this is a general reading, I would say for the larger majority, that's how people view you, is like you really, you know, hold the strings, and you're really a very fortunate person at this time. You really can bring about, you know, certain things that you desire in your life. But also because this position is external, I would say watch out for people around you that might want to, you know, control you or manipulate you. I've got to put that out there. Just because, you know, this is a general reading. You know, now what I have in your hopes and fears is the World card. So for me, it's like you're hoping for maybe a cycle in your life or a chapter in your life to really come to completion. This would be a chapter that has been going on for many, many years. And it looks like you're probably hoping, you know, for that to come to completion and for a new cycle to begin. You know, there could be some Aries as well that, you know, they're hoping to travel. So that's what I mean. This could be in regards to the situation here at the center with the Tower. You could be hoping to move because the World card represents travel, you know. And then for other Aries, you could be hoping to maybe go on vacation. But I feel as though for some, this is talking about move. You might want to move houses. And what we're leaving November and going into December with is actually the Ace of Pentacles, which is beautiful. This is some sort of new beginning that's coming in right at the end of the month. And it very well could be in regards to finances. This could be a new job, some sort of new opportunity where you're able to make money. This is new money coming in. You know, the Ace of Pentacles can actually, you know, represent multiple different things. This could be a marriage, this could be childbirth, this could be, you know, the buying, purchasing of a new home. It could actually represent many different things. So for some Aries, this could very well be, you know, the purchasing of a new home. Very, very complex, very interesting reading, Aries. What I'm going to do now is actually pull you an additional guidance card. Please show me Aries. Please show me an additional message for Aries for November 2015. Please show me Aries. Alright, this card did just flip right out, Aries, so I am going to take it. And it says, time to move on. It's time to let go of the old and worn out so that the new can come in. And it just literally flipped out. Alright, so time to move on. By drawing this card, you're alerted to the fact that you need to make room for the new by letting go of the old. First, let go of emotionally and intellectually. In other words, quit or say goodbye in your mind and your heart. Once you do this, the physical letting go will happen naturally in a peaceful and harmonious way. Ask heaven to help you make this transition, and don't plan, scheme, or worry about how your letting go will occur. Put all of your energy into prayer and faith and leave the rest up to the infinite spirit. You'll get definite guidance whenever it's the right moment to take action. Until then, stay lovingly detached from your old situation. All right. So Aries, again, very interesting month. Definitely, you know, with having 2 pages here, you definitely have some news coming in. This could be maybe an old property that you have to let go of, and this is, you know, why the card is saying time to move on. It could be relationships. I do see the Justice card coming in around the second week, which is an equaling out, a balancing, and a fairness being made, a balancing of the scales. You definitely have the tools of the Magician at hand, so you're able to really, you know, make things come about that you really desire. So just know that, and you're leaving the month of November with this beautiful Ace of Pentacles, new beginnings. But you know, I really feel as though if you want these new beginnings, you have to make room in your life. You know, definitely let go of the old and worn out so that these beautiful new beginnings can come in. So Aries, I hope you enjoyed this reading and have a great month.